We're back, people, and today we're working on film on the Miami Dolphins defense, looking at their 3-safety personnel package. This is something Anthony Weaver brought from the Ravens. Like, the Ravens were one of the teams that ran more 3-safety looks more than most, like, definitely near the top of the league, and the Dolphins didn't get too much of it. They had, like, a few snaps in it through the first 2 games, but versus Seattle, specifically in the second half, they did a little bit in the first half, but the second half, once some of the corners went down, like Kendall Fuller, Storm Duck, they started playing these 3-safety looks. They had Javon Holland playing as, like, the nickel. They would have Marcus May come in the game, and they would only have 2 corners out there. They would have him drop into, like, a deep half coverage, but now if your nickel is Javon Holland playing as, like, the big nickel, he can drop back and do that stuff. He can play underneath, and I think it allows Holland, to play more aggressive when he's near the line of scrimmage. He can play as a run defender. He can blitz, and I feel like those are things he's very comfortable doing. We saw him get beat over the top last week, and I think, as long as you have Poyer and May on the back end, playing with some consistencies, it is something that they can do pretty, nicely, because they're, developed veterans. They don't need to be super flashy back there. But, it allows your coverage for some disguises, things they like to do. Holland down in the nickel right here. You have Poyer, Marcus May, and then they drop back, and Marcus May looks like he's going to be your deep safety, but he drops down and finds the number 3 right here with JSN. He cuts that off, and, May is in a good spot to take this away over the middle. And then you have Poyer then dropping into deep while Holland stays down in the flat. And then you get pressure up front. Just the different looks that you can have pre-snap to post-snap, I think can change much more drastically with that look. And I think it's probably, with the corner injuries, it probably gets your best defensive backs out on the field on a consistent basis. Also, I think Holland can probably be a little more useful versus the run than some of your other corners that usually would play like in the slot like a Kohu or something, but definitely nice to see. Here's another example. They rotate into a single high look. They have Poyer drop down, so we'll see Poyer and May both play on the back end, but this time they have Poyer drop down. Poyer, I think, actually looks more comfortable playing down in the box as like a dime safety. Here's your hook defender. May goes to deep middle of the field, and I feel like May's looked good in his limited snaps. And then Javon Holland is playing as your flat defender. It just gives different looks, makes Geno hold on to the ball. It also allows Jordan Brooks to get out there, play as a flat defender, where I feel like they don't have to worry about covering as much space in these scenarios. You have the box of defenders here taking that away. Geno's trying to get over the top. Holland does a good job maintaining leverage here. So see how Holland's like a seam flat defender. So he's kind of responsible for both these guys in this initial part. He's kind of what Geno is reading here. But once Holland sticks close enough to this, it allows Poyer to get into the throwing lane of that. You have to make a perfect throw to JSN here to get this completed. Then Holland is in a good enough spot to the flat. Geno kind of has to throw it away over the top. Just a bunch of different looks that I liked seeing from this personnel package. Another example of disguising coverage might look like this could be a single high pre-snap with May going there and then Poyer dropping down to like a robber. Could be cover 1, cover 3. Then they rotate back into it. Dolphins play more of like I think, they're playing half to the side of the field. Ramsey, flat defender, so they're playing cover 2. Looks like they're playing quarters to the bottom with Ko as a quarters corner. They drop Poyer out of it. It's just different looks to disguise. Like, obviously, like, this gets completed, but I just like all the different looks that it can give you pre-snap and the different matches. And I think Holland playing to the strength, I just feel like he's comfortable here. Like, Holland has plenty of experience playing as a nickel. Like, that's what he played pretty much strictly at Oregon. Like, it was like 90% of the time, I swear that's where he played. He can still play on the back end, and then now getting him involved in the running game, like, this gets blocked up pretty nicely for Seattle up front. They try to hit the cutback lane, linebackers maybe over pursue, and then Holland on the backside is able to, make this tackle, limit that to a 4-yard gain. I feel like he can be a difference maker there. Holland has, when they blitzed him, he's had like big sacks, strip sacks. I think it will be interesting to see if this keeps going. I think it's something they could do over these next few weeks with the injuries to the corner room, especially in this Titans game. So I'm going to be interesting to see if it keeps going. And even when the corners come back, I still want to see it be a part of the offense. Like, here's another example where they have a bunch of different looks pre-snap. Like, they're showing you a bunch of different stuff. Poyer's down at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he might play man-to-man on this tight end. Poyer ends up blitzing because of it. Walker has to replace him. They also blitz Jordan Brooks. Holland's down here, like, he might be lined up on this tight end / receiver. He drops back to be like a deep half defender Then you have Marcus May doing similar things, bouncing over to the other side. It gets completed, but like Kohu, I think Kohu looked like he was gonna get this. Like Kohu actually plays this pretty well. I actually think he was gonna get the knockdown, but I'm pretty sure when he went there, his hand got stuck in the face mask and he wasn't able to knock it down. It actually got a penalty called on him on that play. But I do like the process of these plays are good. I think it forces out the ball quickly. You can give different pressure looks. They do this a couple different times with blitzes, things like that. Safety play. Definitely interesting with how everything plays out. I feel like they covered things up pretty well. When they had obvious passing situations, I feel like they've kind of struggled with the nickel defender, like when it was Kohu or even if it was someone else, because sometimes Kohu's playing the outside because of the injuries. Sometimes they had some miscommunications between that. I think having Holland down there, he's been in a better spot. Like here, he's taken kind of away that throwing lane to Metcalf. Good feel for behind him there. Poyer comes down to play as like a buzz defender. May becomes middle of the field, and I feel like it's better because I feel like May has still a little more juice left in the tank than Poyer, so having May then come in, and you don't have to have Holland play deep because Holland wants to be more involved, clearly. Got beat deep over the top because he played too aggressive as a quarters. You can have May play on the back end who's a little more juice, a little more experience, and then Poyer can then drop down on these single high looks and still be a hook defender. Now you have Poyer and Holland both underneath and instead of having to have one deep. And they just like take away all the throwing lanes. They're basically running hooks there. Gino tries to get rid of the ball to lock it. Potential for that to be completed, but then by the time that happened, ball out late, Calais knocks the ball up in the air. Sealer gets the interception. And this is when the defense started playing much better. They ran this mostly in the second half, and they really didn't give up any touchdowns until the end of the game when it was over. So they like held them pretty much the whole time in this system. Here's another example of them getting out. I like Holland in the nickel. I really do. Like, look at him here. Get out. Get hands on number 2. Boom. Reroute. And then get head around. Leverage both of these routes. I feel like he just looked really comfortable playing as like an underneath zone defender. It's something it's something that he's definitely used to, and I think he can make some plays there. And then you have Brooks and Long kind of helping each other out to the side of the field. Poyer drops back this time. May becomes like that buzz defender, but they cheat. Like looks like they're running cover 3 with this guy cheating to this side of the field. Definitely interesting to see all the different looks that they have. They went underneath. It forces just a quick check down. It gets completed, but I just want to show all the different types of looks they can come out of it. Here, they get the blitz. Like, they bring the blitz. Gino has something open, but with the look here, it just confuses him from pre-snap to post-snap. It looks like, could play man-to-man here, but then you end up blitzing. I believe that's Marcus May. Holland looks like he's, going to be your nickel, but then he drops back. Plays as a deep safety. Same with Poyer over the top. Gino is now a little bit confused. He has untouched rusher coming at him. He throws it to the wrong guy. You make a tackle underneath for 0 gain. It's just really, really good sound football, and clearly it's something comfortable. Weaver is comfortable calling, so just all the different ways they were able to do this. Another blitz here, similar type of thing. May's near the line of scrimmage. May gets to come. Jordan Brooks comes. Javon Holland playing as the nickel again, also able to drop out to safety. It just allows for so much more, like I was saying, pre-snap to post-snap versatility and, alignment, those types of things. All of the different looks. It just confuses the quarterback just a little bit extra longer because I think you feel more comfortable having your nickel drop to safety. Like, it's something they did with Kohu, but it's not something you're going to do a whole ton of because he doesn't have safety experience. But if Holland's your nickel, you're totally fine with it now bringing the other safety on a blitz, and then Holland dropping back into deep coverage just to disguise, and like nothing's open, nothing's really there to go. They have all this taken away here. Just really good job, top to bottom, by the defense. And just another example of them blitzing, man-to-man. I believe Holland goes there, then Poyer matches up. It gets completed, but just want to show all the different looks. Like, you can get people up on the line of scrimmage, play man-to-man. May's on the outside on the running back. Poyer gets lined up on, I believe that's Noah Fant, the tight end. But it just gives you a bunch of different looks that you can give up, forcing the quarterback to get rid of the ball very quickly. And if these situations keep arising, you play a worse quarterback, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to make big plays. So I'm a huge fan of this potential new package. And it's not something they need to run full time, but I think it will be interesting and allows you to utilize Holland's skill set to more of his advantage because he's a versatile player that hasn't had a lot of chance to play down in the box or play in the slot. And then also I would love to see Ramsey getting involved in some of those types of looks too, and playing versus the run. It's very, very fun to see just different disguises. I think that was my biggest problem with Fangio is everything was so passive and everything like always looked the same. There wasn't a lot of pre-snap movement. It was always like like pre-snap and post-snap was always very similar. It just like it worked like decently well, but I love seeing all the different uh disguises, the way you're able to mix up looks. It just puts so much more stress on the quarterback, and I think this is a probably one of my favorite looks so far. They like package wise, personal package wise. So if you guys really have a video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.